Hi guys, welcome back to Hoarders Heart. On this episode, I'm going to be sharing with everyone how the 30-day minimalist game challenge overwhelmed me as someone with hoarding disorder, and another way that might be a little gentler for us and easier for a hoarder to declutter their house. If you are new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by and checking me out. I'm a hoarder, but a recovering one at that. And normally I show you the messes and I tell you my mental struggles, and we declutter my hoarded house in small sections at a time so that I can keep my anxiety calm and make good decisions to let things go and make decluttering a positive experience. So on this episode, we're going to dive right into it. I'm going to share my experience that I had with the 30-day minimalist game challenge. Now, before I go into those emotions, I want to make it very clear that in no way, shape, or form is this putting down the minimalist game or bashing it or just saying anything negative about it. A matter of fact, I'm going to encourage you to try it on your own to see how you do with it. Because honestly, it's a game that is successful for millions of people. Because, it's really easy to follow. It's a very simple strategy. And by the time you're done it, you have decluttered a lot of things. This is just me sharing my personal experience. So I'm addressing this for the hoarders who are still struggling to declutter, who are still those level 3s, level 4s, level 5s. Honestly, the whole spectrum. I'm addressing the girl that I was back in January 2019. The girl who hadn't developed her decluttering muscles yet, who was still too scared to show her face and admit that I was a hoarder. So that's what I'm addressing, because I just want to have these open, honest communications so that we can learn to evolve and adapt and change. And that's the whole intention of this channel, right? The whole point of this channel is sharing my life experience as someone with hoarding disorder, as someone whose mind is wired a little differently, which is okay, but wired a little differently from somebody else's. And together as a community, figuring out strategies that work for those individuals, right? Because different strategies work for different people. Now, first let me explain what the Minimalist Game Challenge is. The Minimalist Game Challenge is when day 1, you let go of one thing. Okay, cool, we can do that. Day number 2, we let go of 2 things. And day number 3, let go of 3 things, right? Very simple strategy for us to declutter our homes. Now, when I first started it in week 1, I did really well. I was very proud of myself. I found it fairly easy for me to let go of those items. And by the end of the week, we let go of a total of 28 items for the week. So it was very successful, even for someone like me who was a level 3, level 4, low level 4 hoarder. I found it that I could do it. And after week 1, I did feel that wonderful sense of accomplishment. I had done it. At that time, again, this was January 2019, the beginning of my recovery. I was very inspired by Dawn the Minimal Mom. She was the first minimalist I found on YouTube, and also the Minimalists. I had watched their documentary, and they were the ones who had mentioned the 30-day minimalist day challenge, and it encouraged me to be like, let's give this a try. Can I do it? What do I have to lose? So it was when we started week 2 was when I really started feeling my anxiety being triggered. It was around day 12 because I got rid of 12 stuff, and that was hard for me, right? And then the next day I had to get rid of 13 things, and then the next day I have to get rid of 14 things. And I wasn't mentally prepared or emotionally prepared, both of them. I wasn't both mentally and emotionally prepared to do that. I had not developed my decluttering muscles yet. I had not addressed a lot of these deep-rooted emotions and past trauma that created these attachments to the items. I hadn't gone through that process yet. So my natural gut reaction was, I'm anxious, I'm scared, I don't think I can do this, and I'm feeling all these emotions. When it came to week number 3, I was ready to start counting plastic bags, paper clips, junk mail. I was looking through loopholes in the rule. What could count as a declutter? I was trying to find any way to stop the panic attacks, to make it feel comfortable again, to make it feel like week 1 again. And I believe I called that week 3, Hoarder Detox, because I was going through all these emotions, perhaps similar to withdrawal, because I had such deep-rooted attachments to so many things that they felt like my lifeline. They felt like my security blanket. They felt like it was the only way I could survive the stresses of life. And now I'm getting rid of them. And it was just this cycle of me battling with my anxiety because I had not put in more positive coping mechanisms to address the anxiety for when it rises. And speaking of which, I remember as I look back at one of the videos on day 21, this is how desperate I was getting, was that I had a little bottle of wine, right? And I was going to drink that bottle of wine to calm myself down, and then add the empty bottle as one of my 21 things I was decluttering that day. Now, you can see where that can be very dangerous with someone with a mental disorder, because now we don't want to exchange one really bad habit for another, right? Another really bad coping mechanism for another. I don't want to switch out hoarding for being an alcoholic. Another way to self-soothe and avoid that pain that's happening to me at the moment, right? And by week 4, I had called that week Hoarder Hell Week because it was the hardest week for me. And the only reason why I got through it, week 3 and week 4, was because of you all. I had such amazing, encouraging, uplifting, positive messages from all of you saying, you can do this, I believe in you, you're doing wonderful. That honestly was the only reason why I got through it, because I could feel the love. I knew that you all believed in me, and I knew together with all of our loving energy together that I could be strong enough to do it. I could get through the pain of it. I could feel the love from everyone. And that's what pushed me through to continue and complete that 30-day challenge. You see, with hoarding disorder, we first have to address the mental disorder behind all of the stuff, right? The root is the mental disorder, which is anxiety and depression and OCD and ADHD and PTSD, right? These are all the disorders. There's a few more too on that list. So that's what needs to be addressed first. And what I wasn't prepared for then was that I was just following it because I was following the rules of, well, this is what we do, and I have to let this go. And I was addressing the clutter and what had to be done to get rid of the clutter, but I was not addressing the emotions and mental stability behind it. And that was why me, as someone with hoarding disorder, was stressing out from it, was feeling very overwhelmed from it. Okay, so now you're probably wondering, well, what does work with hoarding disorder? Since some people might be triggered by their anxiety and depression and these challenges triggered by the Minimalist Game Challenge. Well, that's when I'm going to introduce you to a newer concept that takes the pressure of letting go of so many things in one day. And I kind of did something very similar to it a few months after I introduced the 30-day Hoarder Challenge, which was you let go of one thing a day and write a positive affirmation about yourself. So I'm going to be using that method with something else called JOLT. Now, JOLT is called just one little thing. I had read about this. People have used this acronym for different things. I first read about it from a girl named Kelly Buckley. It looks like it happened in 2011. She had lost her son suddenly and tragically. So she created this JOLT, just one little thing, to give thanks to something each and every day to help her during that time of loss, that time of mourning. And then there was somebody else who used the acronym JOLT in 2017. Her name was Susan Imke. I think I'm saying that correctly. And she did it to offer tips on how to take action to improve your quality of life. The way that I'm going to use the JOLT acronym as just one little thing is letting go of one thing a day. Something that feels right in your heart, something that you feel good and confident in letting go, something that you're not attached to, and you're gonna let just that one little thing go. And mentally, just tell yourself, I am strong. I can do this. This is easy. The reason why I'm introducing this JOLT acronym to adapt to letting go of one thing per day is because with someone with hoarding disorder, that person who's still that level 4, I want to reach them and let them know that they can do this. And as they do this each and every day, just one little thing, it's going to strengthen their decluttering muscles. It's going to start to build confidence within themselves. It's going to start to make decluttering easier, more approachable, not as scary, and not as overwhelming. So if you're having perhaps not a great day, you can have one JOLT. And I don't even care if it is the plastic bag. That's fine by me. You can let go of the plastic bag and say, here's my JOLT for the day. And I did it. I'm still strong. I was still able to let go of something even though I didn't have the greatest day. But if you have a very good day, you don't have to have just one JOLT. You could have 2, 5, 10, 20, 30. Sky's the limit here, right? If you're having a great day, you can get rid of 30 things and have 30 JOLTs for the day and be like, dang, I did that. So it kind of gives you the freedom to decide what you're letting go of that day, what you feel strong enough to let go of. So that's why I'm going to start introducing this JOLT in a bit of a different way to adapt it to decluttering. I can let go of just one little thing today. I'm strong enough. I can do it. We can encourage each other as a community. That way, it becomes a positive experience for everyone. Together, we can start to declutter our homes. It might take a little longer when you have hoarding disorder, and that's okay. That is fine if it takes us some time. Because when I look at me, who I am now in 2021 versus that girl in January 2019, I'm almost a completely different person. And it's kind of like, wow, I really did evolve. I really did heal. I really did change, and I am stronger now 2 years later. And my favorite saying of all time will always be, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. Here's our one step. Here's our one jolt for today. So I really pray that this helps you if you have hoarding disorder, even if you don't have hoarding disorder. It's very easy to look around and be like, that's a jolt, that's a jolt, that's a jolt. Let's just get rid of it. We don't need it in our house anymore. Let's get our spaces back. So I just want to thank everyone for taking this time with me, hearing my heart, knowing that the intention is to help everyone, to improve our lives, and that we can have a jolt each and every day. Just one little thing we can let go of.